A spare, propulsive and ever-intensifying combat thriller, Nick Dissemblian Empire isn't comfortable to watch. It never relents or relaxes. At the same time, it's impossible to look away from it. Michael O'Sullivan, Washington Post.
Have you seen Dunkirk? Is it good?
Dunkirk? I'm talking about Mayo. Hello and welcome to Talking Points, our weekly GA show here on Balls.ie, brought to you in association with Sky Sports. My name is Mark Fardy and I am joined by Mick McCarthy.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, so Mayo, as Mark alluded to, keeping our hearts in our mouth right to the very end again, beating Cork on Sky Sports on Saturday night. Afterwards, James Horan, another very interested observer, was giving his analysis.
Obviously, we saw Mayo progress in extra time. What a game it was between Mayo and Cork. But just going to show some pictures from the end of that game. And obviously, Cork side very unhappy. We're hearing that this had to do with the fact that the referee blew the whistle early.
Yeah, and I know a caption came up on screen that there was 30 seconds, I think, or 35 seconds left to go. But you can see the players very disappointed. I think Billy Sheehan there, the actual coach of the Cork team, was question the referee, and you don't like to see the ref having to be escorted off the field, no. but emotions would be very high after a game like that. There was an incident as well, if I remember, out the sideline where I think it was Rory Deane covered back and got a great tackle in, and the Mayo guy touched it on the ground, and they didn't get the free. And I know there was a lot of the Cork sideline were very upset at that. But what a fantastic game, fantastic occasion. Yeah. Cork, you know, gave absolutely everything they can. You can see, you know, in extra time in the second half, people falling like flies, really, just haven't given everything, and that's all you can ask for. So Padder Healy and the Cork people should be very, very proud of how they played today. Yeah,
I think it was the first time everybody realised that Billy Sheehan was a member of the Cork backroom team. He was confronted the referee at the end of the game, but some brilliant reaction from Mayo fans as well during the game. Another absolute thriller. I particularly enjoyed David Brady, who we had on obviously a couple of weeks ago. He said, some might say following Mayo would put years on you, and it does. On my grave, should have died years ago, but then Mayo teams kept him going, which is a bit of a contradiction in itself. But
and hard to say.
Exactly.
But kind of right. Yeah. Isn't it? It's like we're talking about Mayo. We have a post up on Balls.ie last night. Is like, were they complete bottlers, or are they, you know, have they got the most?
This was one of the things at the production meeting.
Of all.
Yeah, this in the production meeting I was saying I had this idea that I wanted to discuss if Mayo are the most mentally weak or mentally strong team in the country, and Gavin already had the article up on Balls.
And they're both.
Yes, I think there's a difference between being confident and being mentally strong, and I don't think they're the most confident team in the country.
Yeah,
but like you can be like. You can lack confidence and keep missing shots, but you can be mentally strong to keep digging in there.
Yeah, so I would say fair play to Cork, first of all. Like, they put in a good performance, which is really good to see from Cork, but Mayo should have had that game out of sight a couple of times and didn't. A few things happened to let them get back into it that were really worrying to see, but they dug it out. Yeah. And they won the game they were supposed to win, and they had other issues against Derry a couple of rounds ago, and they were almost complete opposite issues, but again, they dug it out when they had to in extra time. They went and hammered them. So that's a good sign. They're back in Croke Park. They're playing Roscommon next week. I think Mayo fans are going to be confident again. You know, another game under their belt. Yeah. They're going to probably, well, if they beat Roscommon, go into a semi-final with a lot of games and a lot of momentum.
But like, how many points do they need to be up going into the last 10 minutes to be sure of a win?
I don't know. And that would be the main worry I would have, is the Cork second goal in injury. You're 3 points up in injury time and a player gets that much space in the full forward line. That's unheard of. I don't understand how that could possibly happen. What sort of breakdown has to happen for that?
Speaking of Cork goals though, the first Cork goal is one I want to talk about, because there is a type of goal in the GAA that isn't talked enough about. It's this sort of some lad in the half back line or a midfielder just gets it, puts the ball under his arm, takes off 40 yards up the pitch and absolutely sticks it. And that's what Sean Powder did there. He went as far as he could, and then when he couldn't go any further, he decided to just plant it. His Twitter bio says, "Boys react, men respond." I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I think
reacting is a type of response.
Yeah, but I think that's what I think his Twitter bio. That's it in real life, in physical form.
Yeah. Again, Mayo parting like the Red Sea. It's not great to see. But enough of Mayo. Like, it was good to see Cork coming back. They'll have something to take into 2018, a good performance. One team who won't, I'm not so sure, is Donegal. 17 to 14 points Galway beat them on Saturday night, also on Sky Sports. Good to see Galway come back after the capitulation in the Connacht final. But what has happened to Donegal?
Yeah, well, like, even the Mayo point about being mentally strong, that Donegal team and Mayo were in the All-Ireland final in 2013.
2012.
Was it 2012?
Yeah.
Mayo still about, Donegal, second team, and I don't know where they're going.
Yeah, so James Horan and Peter Canavan were talking about this at half-time in the game, actually, which was all but over.
You can see here Liam still getting the ball in acres of space. Michael Murphy comes to cut off space. Johnny Heaney has the opportunity to put a bouncing pass into Ian Burke here, and he kicks it over the bar. Unchallenged, unopposed. So while the Galway play is lovely, the Donegal effort and commitment to the tackle is shocking.
Yeah.
You know, you can see here again Shane Walsh put a beautiful outside of the right foot pass to Damien Comer. Eyes up his man, just pops off, keeps running, and you see Frank McGlynn here. That's not Frank McGlynn that we know over the last number of years, giving up that chase. You know, so that's very, very bad signs for Donegal. And when you have that general malaise that's throughout the team in that first half, I don't know, can you turn that round at half-time and have a fired-up Donegal coming out? I think they're too far down and their mentality is wrong.
It's very similar to the Throne and Donegal game, because people were raving about the Throne performance after, but how deeply could you look into it? Because a lot of occasions Throne were scoring, there wasn't a hand put on them when they were coming forward shooting, and that's the exact same here tonight. Okay, it's a very good Galway performance, but you have to question, as James says, you have to question the effort and the attitude of some of the Donegal players, because they're bringing no physicality to this game whatsoever. Yeah,
poor old Michael Murphy there, you'd have to feel sorry for him, both in terms of getting the black card, but also he was the one lad that was actually getting around the pitch. Speaking of Michael Meehan came back 4 years after his last goal, which, Jesus, you can hear by the roar that Michael Meehan came back. We wanted to highlight it, but it's great to see him back. I think everybody loves him.
Yeah, one of the most popular players in the country. Such a stop and start career. Like, I mean, you're always looking at Galway. Geez, if they could build around Michael Meehan, and then he's gone for 6 months at a time, or 4 years in this case.
Also, my favourite voice in the GAA. I don't know what it is. The Galway accent is superior to every other accent.
Oh, voice.
Michael, what does I say? Voice. It's just the Cavan accent coming out. That's why you see, I'm looking on, going, geez, I'd love to have his voice. You always just know everything's going to be okay when Michael Meehan speaks.
Absolutely.
Anyway, moving on to the GAA Fan of the Week. I believe Carlo. We thought we were finished with them, but no. Carlo showed up yet again on Sky Sports this weekend, but this time at the Open. Here's this Carlo Bucco with the jersey on. He's taking the place of the guaranteed Kerry fan that you usually find at golfing events. But Carlo have taken the mantle on now, and fair play to them.
Hashtag Carlo Rising is not done yet for 2017. The one I want to look at now is, you know, early in the year, if you wear a coloured wig to a GAA game, you're guaranteed for Fan of the Week. But this is the business end of the championship now. We're nearly in August. It's not a guarantee. You need to put a little bit more effort in. But this guy does make the cut. He was at the Wexford Waterford game yesterday. Now, it's a good coloured wig, let's face it, but I think it's because he's specifically going for the George Bush Senior look on his appearance on The Simpsons back in the 90s, which is very impressive. Mark, have you got something to say? Bearing in mind I've already explained about the wig.
Sorry, no.
No, okay.
Our final nominee this week is this Galway fan that I want to chat about. He came up to Paul Conroy after the match looking for a handshake. Paul Conroy was too interested in fist pumping the camera, so your man thought on the spot and decided to also smile to camera.
Yeah, Paul's really had a good look at the camera there as well. I think he deserves a bit of credit for like really committing to that fist pump. It's a good fist pump, but yeah, you know, your man, I just love that. He's not insulted whatsoever at being completely and utterly blanked. That's a real fan.
Exactly. We need to move on though to the hurling. Tipperary had a 3-point win over Clare on Saturday in the first of the hurling quarterfinals. Mick, would you not just support somebody else at this stage?
It might be time for it. You say a 3-point win, it's weird because it could have easily been a 9-point win or a 10-point win for Tipperary, but equally Clare could have won the game. It's very frustrating, very sickening time to be a Clare fan because we've all this supposed talent. We've the All-Ireland team of 2013, we've the 321s in a row. You've got like players like Tony Kelly and Colin Galvin and Conor McGrath, and they have 18 wides in a game against the All-Ireland champions, where like in loads of ways they turned up and played well and then just shot themselves out of the game. Puck outs. Andrew Fatty, 4 points in a row for Tipperary at the end of the first half, just pucking it straight out to them.
I have to stop you.
Why?
You grew up in Dublin. You could just become a Dublin football fan. Seriously.
Do you know I've thought of that over time? I mean, like, you know, when I was younger I used to like Dublin, and I went to the 2013 All-Ireland final against Mayo, wearing blue, deciding that morning I was going to be a Dubs fan, I was going to watch the match. And then as the match went on, I found myself accidentally cheering for Mayo. I couldn't help it. I didn't want Dublin to win.
We're cursed by instinct in the GAA.
Yeah, we've cursed by instinct, cursed by heart over head. We've no control over who we actually like. You know, I could easily be a Dublin fan and have loads of All-Irelands and general happiness instead of this like horrible chest tightening that I experience every summer.
It's just the journey, Mick. It's the journey.
It's the journey. You know all about it. That's Cavan for you.
The journey leads around in circles. But anyway.
Yeah, so anyway, one group of fans who did have a good time this year were the Wexford fans. They beat Kilkenny for the first time since 2004. But unfortunately, their odyssey has come to an end. They lost to Waterford yesterday. Waterford go on to play Cork in the semi-final. So it is goodbye for one more year anyway to Davy Fitzgerald and to his now infamous box in the stand where he sits. He added a new accessory there yesterday, actually. With those.
I wasn't sure with those headphones if he was out mowing the lawn or he was auditioning for a part of an air traffic controller on Top Gun 2.
He has some similarities to Tom Cruise, actually, if Tom pulled out or whatever. Yeah. You know, they're both not very big in stature.
But big in the 90s.
Big in the 90s, yeah. But very excitable, both of them.
Extraordinarily excitable.
Yeah.
Weird laughs as well.
You know, you never know.
But talking of managers in that game, Derek McGrath, he's brought fist pumping to a whole new level in a sport that is probably the fist pump capital of the world.
It's the fist pumpiest sport of them all.
Yeah.
We've seen some good ones yesterday. Dan Shanahan, Maurice Shanahan, all the Shanahans. But Derek, I love it. It's the different type of fist pumps for different occasions. So there's the big win, hands up in the air. That's perfect, you know.
Linesman telling him to calm down.
I love this one. This is the quiet contemplation of we've done something bloody well. There, you know, that's a real good one. You know, that's the determined fist pump. You know, and then the last one I love is because this is the motivational one. This is the one that gets players going. This is the we can do it, lads, fist pump. You know, this is the let's get going. Crossing the body, very important for that particular one. So yeah, Derek McGrath could teach a lot of people a lot of things about fist pumping. And honestly, Kieran Kingston, that you know they're playing each other in the semi-final now. Kieran Kingston, that's a massive disadvantage he has. He's got a couple of weeks to work on it now. He has to get his fist pumping game up to a seriously higher level.
Davey in as a consultant, maybe. That'd be
absolutely. Davey's got nothing to do now for the rest of the year.
Possibility. But that's it from us now. It's time to head on.
Are we not going to talk about like sweepers,
the ins and outs, sweepers,
the rights and wrongs?
Novelty headphones and fist pumping. That's what we're about. I'm not listening to this sweeper nonsense yet again. Anyway. That's it from us. We will be back next week after the football quarter-finals. On Saturday night on Sky Sports, they will have Down versus Monaghan live, followed by the McGeeney derby. It's Kildare versus Armagh. But apart from that, another show in the bag, Mick. We're finished. We will be back next Monday. And until then, mind yourself.